You know, in the tech world, things move so fast it's almost dizzying. A phone that's a year old can already feel like a relic. So what on earth happens when a company drops an important update for a phone that came out over a decade ago? Well, that's exactly what Apple just did, and trust me, it tells us a really fascinating story about security, value, and what a brand is really promising you. And this, right here, is the million-dollar question, isn't it? The iPhone 5S launched way back in 2013. In tech years, that is practically the Stone Age. So why in the world would Apple spend time, money, and resources patching it now? The answer isn't what you'd think, and that's what makes this so interesting to unpack. So, to really get why this is so unusual, we need to hop in a quick time machine. Let's put this device and its journey into perspective.
Okay, just look at this timeline for a second. It really shows you how much time has passed. 2013, the iPhone 5S comes out, and it was a huge deal. It brought us Touch ID. Then, 6 years later in 2019, it gets its last big software update, iOS 12. After that, pretty much radio silence, until boom, out of nowhere, iOS 12.5.8 appears. We're talking about a phone whose main support ended years ago.
And this number, wow, it just says it all. Nearly 13 years. I mean, just let that sink in for a moment. That is the support lifespan we are talking about here. In the world of gadgets that are practically designed to be replaced every couple of years, this is, well, it's pretty much unheard of.
All right, so we've established this is a very, very old phone getting a brand new update. But what is this update really? It's super important to understand what it does, and maybe even more important, what it doesn't do. First things first, let's be crystal clear about this. If you're one of the people still rocking one of these older devices and you see this update, don't go expecting some flashy new look. You're not getting new home screen widgets. You're not getting cool new apps. None of the bells and whistles from the latest iOS. That is not what this is about at all.
Nope. Instead, it's all about this. It is laser-focused on one single, absolutely critical thing: keeping you safe. This update has one job and one job only, and that's to patch up security holes.
The best way to think about iOS 12.5.8 is like a digital security guard sent back in time. It's not there to redecorate your phone. It's just there to make sure the locks on the doors are strong enough to keep out modern-day bad guys, threats that didn't even exist when the phone was made. It's basically a tiny, super precise security fix. And get this, it's not just the iPhone 5S. Apple pushed this critical security patch out to a whole bunch of its older products. The iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, the very first iPad Air, the early iPad minis, and even the iPod Touch. This shows you this wasn't just some random one-off fix. It's part of a very deliberate, very wide-ranging strategy. Okay, so, a security fix for old gadgets. Why are we making such a big deal about it? Well, this is where the story gets bigger than just one piece of software. It's about something called legacy support. And honestly, the way Apple handles it is kind of a game changer.
Just look at how things usually work in the tech world. You're lucky if you get a few years of big software updates, maybe another year or two of security patches after that. Then, that's it. Your device is basically left vulnerable. What Apple's doing here is just on another planet. We're talking security patches for devices that are more than a decade old. It puts them in a league of their own.
And this quote right here just nails it. This isn't some happy accident. It is a conscious choice. It signals a core philosophy at the company that puts the long-term safety of its users first, no matter how long ago you bought your product.
So, what does this all mean for Apple as a brand and, more importantly, for you as a customer? Let's zoom out and look at the huge message this tiny update is sending.
An action like this sends a really powerful message. First, it's telling you that the device you bought isn't just disposable junk. It holds its value. Second, and this is huge, it says your security is a top priority, even if you haven't given them a dime in over 10 years. And third, it just reinforces this idea that the entire Apple ecosystem is designed to last.
So, at the end of the day, an update for a 13-year-old phone isn't really about the phone anymore. It's about building trust. It changes the conversation from "I'm buying a piece of hardware" to "I'm investing in a secure platform for the long haul." It's a massive statement that the company is still looking out for you years and years after you've paid them. And that really leaves us with one last, kind of provocative thought to chew on. We all know Apple devices come with a premium price tag. But when you start to factor in a decade or more of critical security support, does that change how you feel about that price? Does that incredible longevity make that initial high cost seem more like a genuinely good value over time? It's definitely something to think about.